What's going on, guys? Gamer Dude back once again, bringing you some more informative gaming news. So, first things first, before we get the video started, I just want to get a few things out of the way. First thing being, you all know the routine. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe, because it would just be your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. Second on the agenda, before we move on with the video, I would like to deeply apologize for not doing any content last week. I know I said I was back and I was going to keep producing videos every day, but it has literally been a sauna in the UK this past week. It has been physically impossible for me to even sit down. Leather furniture, unfortunately. Sorry about that. But I'm sure you can all understand that it's just been way too hot to even wear a headset. I haven't even, if I'm being honest, played a game for the last week. I've been sat, no word of a lie, I have been sat in front of my freezer with the door open just to stay cool, watching The Walking Dead. That is no lie, that is the truth. So yeah, I do apologise for not producing anything, but it's cooled down now, so I'm happy to be back producing. So then, on with the video. As you can see, it is about Marvel's Avengers. Oh god. Embracer Group really needs to figure out what is going on with this game. I mean, first of all, we're told that the next hero is probably like 90% gonna be She-Hulk due to the upcoming She-Hulk series. That's why they added in Jane Foster, because of the Thor Love and Thunder movie. But now it appears that's not happening at all. In fact, it appears the next hero is going to be Bucky Barnes. So let's dive into this and find out just what Embracer Group have said about it. Embracer Group, of course, being the new IP owners of the Avengers game, since Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics sold it off. So, Crystal Dynamics, as we know, have been rather quiet about what heroes it is working on for Marvel's Avengers and the future of any DLC heroes. Yeah, we've had a couple of leaks and people have data mined it to find out who's coming. We've had a couple of confirmed names, but you can't really take that with a pinch of salt, you know. It's got to come straight from the source, and if it doesn't come from the source, then you can't exactly rely on it. So let's get into what I've actually discovered. A new report has allegedly revealed at least one of those heroes, as a reputable leaker within the game's community has stated, is going to be Bucky Barnes, and he's going to be making his way as a playable character into the game sooner rather than later. The leak comes from a creditable leaker from Twitter by the name of Miller. He just posted, Bucky Barnes is the next playable character coming to Marvel's Avengers. Doesn't say how he knows, doesn't say why. He's just posted it, and he's been right before. He was right that Spider-Man was coming before we actually, not Spider-Man, sorry, because everybody knew Spider-Man was coming. What am I talking about? He was right about Jane Foster, should I say? My apologies. He was right about Jane Foster. He knew Jane Foster was coming before anybody else even knew that Jane Foster was coming. So I'm going to take it with a grain of salt, but he's been right before, so I'm gonna believe him on this occasion. Anyway, he is a prominent insider, as I said. He made the tweet that Bucky Barnes would be the next hero. He also later replied to someone's comment saying that Bucky Barnes wouldn't be an echo character of Captain America. So he's going to be his own character. That means he could possibly come with his own story, because the echo characters, yes, it's something new, it's something to do, it brings people back to the game, but once they are fully leveled up, that's it. You know, there's nothing else to do with those characters. There's, unlike Hawkeye and Kate Bishop, there are no stories to replay. You know, you can even go back and replay the main story if you want, but when it came to Spider-Man and Jane Foster and now potentially Bucky Barnes. If the Echo characters don't have a story, then there's no need for people to come back and play it. They're just going to level it up and be like, right, I'm done, bye. And then the servers will go quiet. And at the time of recording this video to get this gameplay footage, they were incredibly quiet. I had to do all of this solo because literally the servers were dead. Nobody was on. I could not get anybody in the matchmaking. But anyway, fans might be a little bit concerned given the overlap between Hawkeye and Kate Bishop, also the mighty Thor and Thor. But the leaker Miller didn't really give a release window on the character, but he did imply that it may not be anytime soon, which kind of contradicts his first tweet saying it would be sooner than later. But we'll let that slide. A user also found on Reddit there have also been some data mined voice lines that actually welcome Bucky into the game from various different characters. One of which does appear to be from the Wakandan character, including Black Panther himself, and these voice lines called out Barnes, as well as She-Hulk and Captain Marvel as he falls in battle. Now that Captain Marvel thing is interesting, because Captain Marvel has been a big setup for this game ever since the beginning, because, Miss Marvel, she, like it or not, is the main character of this game. She led the story. She brought the Avengers back. And everybody knows that Miss Marvel is a huge fangirl of the Avengers, but her favourite is Captain Marvel, hence her name. So it's been heavily hinted ever since Miss Marvel showed up that Captain Marvel was going to make an appearance, because even Captain America on the Chimera on A-Day said that she was off-planet. And ever since then it's been heavily teased that she's going to appear. So with her appearance, does that mean that, with her line in this audio log, should I say, does that mean that the game is actually ending, that Embracer Group are trying to bring it to an end so they can move on to something else? Because at the moment, Marvel's Avengers is, let's not lie, it is dead. Insomniac right now is dominating the superhero games with Marvel Spider-Man, Spider-Man Miles Morales, the incoming Spider-Man 2, and the newly announced Wolverine. Insomniac has got this, that's all I'm saying. Insomniac has this. They have us covered for the best types of superhero games we can hope to get. The only thing I'm going to praise about the Avengers is the story mode, because the end game content has been solely lacking in what Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix initially promised. That is what really lets it down. But anyway, moving on. It is rather unclear how this all fits in with other reports claiming that She-Hulk is coming to the game. Miller also tweeted back in December that She-Hulk was going to be coming to the game and would be voiced by Krisa Bejos, which is something seemingly corroborated with a now deleted tweet from Bejos herself. A recent official Xbox stream, I don't like talking about Xbox, but this is where I got my information from, so let's keep going. This stream appeared to have backed up that report, and the host divulged that his voice acting teacher was voicing the unannounced character, which was a description that also pointed to Bejos. And in a recent stream, there was a player on with a dev, or it was a dev on with a player, and I think the dev accidentally leaked that She-Hulk was coming, because he said something like, has She-Hulk been announced yet? Have we announced She-Hulk? And the player was like, no. So we basically got some confirmation there that She-Hulk is coming. In addition to the aforementioned voice lines and voice leaks that I mentioned earlier, There are also others that do mention She-Hulk, and not to mention when you go to Substation Zero, one of the NPC characters in that outpost does actually mention She-Hulk. So she's been teased for quite a while, as well as Captain Marvel. You know, she's been teased since Substation Zero was unlocked. So she's not really that big of a secret. And judging from the game, the generalized gameplay and all the missions, you can kind of have a guess at what characters are coming. But yeah, with the release of the Mighty Thor, it kind of complicated things a little bit, since it seemed like She-Hulk was slated to arrive before Jane Foster did. But I'm guessing they kind of switched it up a bit to put Jane Foster in line with the release of the Thor Love and Thunder movie, which I totally get. You know, it totally makes sense. Miller, the Twitter tweeter who leaked all of this, also reported the switch to the team wanting to line up more with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Which, again, I can totally get, I can totally understand. But if that's any indication, then I would hazard a guess if Captain Marvel is coming to the game, it will be sometime next year. Like, around about the time just before or just after the Marvels movie comes out. So, it gives us about a baseline of March, April, May time that she could arrive. But yeah, that's just me speculating there. She-Hulk's rumored inclusion also points to there being plausible, given the Mighty Thor's release around Love and Thunder and how it premiered before She-Hulk's incoming Disney Plus series. But putting Bucky into the game next would presumably put the game out of line with the MCU, because Bucky's not getting any projects, you know. The last time we saw Bucky, it was in the Captain America Winter Soldier thing on Disney Plus. So I'm not too sure why they would suddenly decide, oh, you know what, let's release Bucky. Because there's no practical need for him, there's no practical use for him, and I can't really see a need for him in the Avengers game. Because to me, he is an echo character of Captain America. He might use guns, but he is a super soldier, just like Cap. So he is essentially the echo of Captain America, except he uses guns. So I can't really see him having his own kind of story, you know? I can't really see him being the epiphany that's going to revive this game, really. So, while the details haven't actually been confirmed by Crystal Dynamics, and as I said, you've got to really take all this with a grain of salt. Miller has, as I've mentioned, been correct about Marvel's Avengers many times in the past. He was actually the first one that reported the God of War actor, Christopher Judge. Love that guy, by the way. Pretty much grew up watching him on screen in the Stargate series as Teal'c. Just a fun fact there, in case any of you didn't know that, he did play Teal'c in Stargate. So, yeah. Anyway, he also knew that Crossbones would be the major villain. He also knew that Jane Foster was making her way to the game, and he has also data mined more than a handful of skins from the game before their official announcements. Some of which actually still haven't been released yet. But Crystal Dynamics has been rather tight-lipped either way. But with plenty of evidence pointing to She-Hulk, Captain Marvel, and Bucky Barnes, it looks as though the next few heroes might not be huge surprises. I mean, I'm not too sure how I feel about it, if I'm being honest, because, you know, as I mentioned, Bucky, he's an echo of Captain America. He is essentially a Captain America. I don't know why at the end of Avengers Endgame, where Cap shows up as an old man, that he didn't give the shield to his best friend Bucky. You know, he's known Bucky for like over 100 years. They go way back, so I don't know why Steve wouldn't be like, "Oh, Bucky, you're my best friend. I've known you for over 100 years. Here you go, man. This is something to redeem yourself." Instead, he gives it to Sam, who is a superhero of his own, the Falcon, who kind of mixes both of them and he becomes Falcon America. Hey, I like that. Falcon America. That's good. That's good. I like that. But yeah, my point being, it just didn't line up with his character arc, you know? Bucky went through in the MCU with this major, like, character redemption, and you just figured that when Endgame came along and that older version of Cap showed up, that Bucky was finally going to get that chance to fully redeem himself, you know? That Bucky was finally going to feel forgiven for everything that he'd done as the Winter Soldier by being handed Cap's shield by Captain America himself. But yeah, do let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think Avengers is just completely dead? Do you think they should just pull the plug on it, like I've been saying they should for years, for months now? I was going to say years, but I don't know why. Just feels like years because it takes so long for new content to actually come to this game. It's meant to be a live service game, and the service is terrible. See if I come here again. You get what I'm saying, though? I mean, it's one of those things where you feel like you've just been, as a fan, treated like dirt and thrown to the curb. You know, it just doesn't feel like the game that the devs promised from the beginning. And they've gone back on so many promises from when it was first unveiled and when they had that massive showcase about it, saying, "Oh, don't worry, there'll be no microtransactions in this game. You won't be forced to pay for things that you want." And then exactly what do? They make you pay for the consumables. They make you pay for the catalysts. They make you pay for all the uniforms, all the extra outfits. It's like, well, you've just literally gone back on everything you said you weren't going to do. So screw you. But yeah, once again, let me know what you guys think. Do you think Bucky Barnes is a good choice for the next character? Do you think he is actually going to be the next character, or do you think that they are going to wait for Bucky and line it up with the MCU, like it seems like they are trying to do right now, and add She-Hulk in next, in line with the She-Hulk Disney Plus series that's definitely, as we know, incoming. So yeah, that's it for this video then. So I want to thank you all so much for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Once again, before we go, I do apologise for not doing any content the last week. I know I disappeared for a long time, but that was due to personal reasons, mental health, and things that were going on in my life. I just needed time away from everything, and I know I've got a lot to do to earn back your trust and viewership. But don't worry, I am back. The reason I was gone last week was just because it was just far too hot in the UK. It was just a sauna. I mean, you couldn't even touch the ground without burning your hand. It was just so freaking warm. I mean, it's still rather humid right now, but it's settled down enough that I can actually sit on my chair without sticking to it and have my headset on my head without dripping in sweat. So I do apologise, but I'm sure you can understand. I'm really sure you can understand that. So yeah, I'm going to end it there. So if you guys, once again, are new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe. It would be super appreciated and just your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. So stay tuned this week because it has cooled down, as I mentioned. We are going to have a lot of content incoming. Got some little videos planned along the way. I'm going to be doing Horizon Forbidden West live stream, and I'm thinking of doing something else, but I'm not too sure yet. Of course, we have some new games coming out rather soon. We've got Destroy All Humans 2, definitely live streaming that because it was very popular when I did the first game. And there's obviously Gotham Knights coming a month after that. So there's a lot to come from me this year. Stay tuned is all I can say. I am back and I am not going anywhere. So yeah, that's it then. This has been Gamer Dude. Happy gaming, and I will catch you all in the next one, guys.